Fast and the Furious 9 has already beaten Godzilla vs. Kong's opening weekend for this year at the overseas box office. F9 races Godzilla vs. Kong for the title of the highest grossing worldwide opening during the pandemic. Good side for its domestic release here. F9 is already breaking box office records released in 8 countries, and Yes vs. Godzilla is 42. Godzilla released all at once, but Fast and the Furious 9 is the latest installment, won't open to the United States until June 25th. The film has already begun to roll out in international markets at the screening for a select group of critics in the United States. The hope for the studios to catch the audiences need to go back to a movie year after no theatrical experiences. Yeah. F9 isn't the first film to wire release that was a flop. Mortal Kombat, because that movie was so bad, it was a flop. Tom and Jerry, it actually was a success. That movie actually was a success. It had a small budget of $50 million, and because it grossed $110 million, it barely nudged out of the box office failures. And Godzilla vs. Kong, which is a box office success, and also did really well on HBO Max, even if it did lose a tiny bit of money because it doesn't really get all that signage money back, because of how well it did on HBO Max as well. Well, it's gonna do very well on Blu-ray. That's for sure. That's gonna do this movie. Godzilla vs. Kong is also make like 40. It's gonna probably do better than Godzilla King of the Monsters on Blu-ray, and it's gonna probably do pretty well on PVOD premium sales on YouTube and stuff. This movie, Godzilla vs. Kong, is gonna be just a bona fide success no matter what. Yeah, already it outgrows King of the Monsters worldwide box office despite all the restrictions throughout the world. F9 looks like it's gonna be the new king of the box office. F9 is expected to gross $160 million in China alone. Okay, China account that's worldwide. China accounts for 105 million. Godzilla vs. Kong opened to 121 million worldwide, and released at 38 countries opposed to F9's just 8 markets. F9 is one of the first films to do its release as well. Based on it in China, had already closed its fetus, and Fast and Furious is a big money maker in China. The last two are some of the highest grossing for foreign films in China. F9 was set to go open in North America in May 28, 2021, before another set of delays. While it's running up the worldwide box office, all eyes are set on Cruella and A Quiet Place Part 2 to see if the U.S. audiences are ready to go back to theaters. They actually put out a poll, and a majority of people who want to see, which is surprising considering that, Disney Plus is doing so well. Let's remember, 100 million subscribers, but apparently more people would want to see Cruella and theaters than, of course, on streaming. And Quiet Place is only 55%, but that's still a majority of people. And of course, that is subject to change as well. It might go down or up. See if U.S. audiences are really ready to go back to the theaters. And then next is, Into the Height, The Conjuring, and Peter Rabbit, The Runaway, as well. With a strong box office performance, already Universal can hope that Fast and Furious is still a big box summer blockbuster to welcome audiences back and start the 4th of July weekend, which is only The Purge, on that week, and then Black Widow's coming out the week afterwards. But yep, this movie is set to... I can see, do you have updates on it? F9 or Fast and the Furious 9. It has a 5.6 on IMDb. That's pretty bad. Because most people are going to say, yeah, this movie sucks. But again, the movie's not even out yet. It's probably like 5 reviews and that's it. Yeah, it's not really that many reviews. I bet it has bad reviews by the critics. But again, the critics gave Curious an 82%, so nobody gives a crap about Rotten Tomatoes here. $168 million debut and worldwide. Now we have an update here. 162.4 million overseas. Despite, of course, Rotten Tomatoes saying the movie was bad. Again, I think people are now immune to what, and it's also a 3-hour movie. I'm probably not gonna see it as just a 3-hour movie. Why would I want to watch it? No wonder why the critics say it's 3 hours long. Why would they make it 3 hours long? Fast and the Furious 9 is actually longer than freaking Endgame. I can actually show you, Endgame is shorter than Fast and the Furious. Endgame is 3 hours and 2 minutes. Fast and the Furious is fucking 3 hours and 23 minutes. Yo. Yeah, and races past $100 million in China. It's not the biggest opening for China. Yeah, it earned another 47 million on China compared to 59 million Friday. If you negate the 5.9 million in midnight previews, then the Friday and Saturday night grosses are almost dead even. Bats of Word of Mouth wasn't very good. It has not yet impacted the overall grosses. Like we saw Batman vs Superman. The reviews and word of mouth didn't really factor in the first 2 dates because that's a hardcore fan. The DC Insider have sold up for the movie. And yeah, if the critics are, I don't know if and it's Fast and Furious could be the first test. Do people really still trust what Rotten Tomatoes says? Okay, because most of the people giving it bad reviews are most of the critics. Most of these, critics who, are going to tell you that they, movie bad because too much accent, not enough diversity, which is another thing they factor into the reviews now, and that there's not enough diversity, or if the movie's racist or not, and they're going to tell you not to go see it, like with Peppermint and Rambo 5. They'll tell you that those are two big bad bump movies and you shouldn't see them, okay? Big bad bump movies, okay? Orange Man bad, because they made the villains a certain race of people, okay? And F9 puts 160, and yeah, races past $100 billion in China. They don't really have an update on Chinese sales, on the Chinese box office yet, but F9 speeds to a huge 162.2 million sales, and it grossed 145.6 million in China alone. So yeah, it's gonna gross like $400 million in China. I was correct. It also debuted in South Korea, Russia, Hong Kong, and some Middle Eastern countries that where moviegoing has rebounded in those markets. F9 ticket sales were strong in the pre-pandemic time, which marked Universal's best start in China since the last Fast film. So even if the critics are saying it's bad, China does not care again with like of Transformers. You ever watched the Transformers series? Okay, all the Transformers movies have did super well in China. Okay, super well in China, despite the critics saying all of them sucked. They still did well in China. Okay, here. And Spiral is a box office failure. Oh, it says 22 million. Yeah. So yeah, the box office, the worldwide sales was not updated for Spiral then. Then. Spiral's at 22 million worldwide, but I still think that's gonna be a flop. Basically, it'll probably end up grossing 30 to 35 million worldwide, which is not okay. It won't be a box office flop then. It probably will eventually make back its money, but that means Saw has passed its budget, but still needs to make back its marketing. If it's a small marketing budget, there'll be like 30 million, which means Saw will almost guarantee to make back its money. But the marketing for Saw was around 40 million, including marketing, including other P&A costs, including feeders and stuff, feeder costs and stuff. I bet it's around 40 million, which means Saw 40 to 45 million, which means Saw is gonna be a flop. If it's 40 million, then Saw is gonna be a very small loss. Then it's gonna be a very small loss. It won't really matter. But if it's a $10 million flop, but I think the loss won't really matter because it will still do well on PVOD and stuff, and Blu-ray will grow like 6 to 7 billion now, and PVOD. Yeah, I think Saw probably won't be a flop. Spy will be like a movie that will barely lose money on all platforms and formats and feeders. Something because a movie losing like $2 to $5 to $10 million is not a end all be all for a film. Okay, it's not end all be all. It can still make back its money through Blu-ray, DVD, PVOD, stuff like that, paid for video, basically. But yeah, despite the critics saying it's so bad, and despite the movie being 3 hours and 20 minutes, 23 minutes, which is super long. Okay, this is the longest a movie has been. Okay, a movie has been. Let's just compare it to the last entry in the series. Okay. Hobbs and Shaw was only 2 hours and 16 minutes. Basically, you know, The Fate of the Furious, 2 hours and 29 minutes. But F9 was 3 hours long. And the critics don't really care for Fast and the Furious that much. Rotten Tomatoes now gave it a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes, basically here. But, they gave Dream Horse, but again, F9's review, but that's only based off 6 reviews. Okay, that's only based off 6 reviews so far. And those 6 critics don't really like it. I bet they're going to give Cruella glowing reviews because it's made by Disney. There. But yeah, it is only based off 6 reviews. IMDb score is only based off 1,000 reviews, the Lion King remake also had that score based off 1,000 reviews as well. And when the movie actually came out, it magically jumped to a 7 out of 10 IMDb. Because people were actually able to go out and see it, and it was not just haters of the franchise giving it a 1 star because they don't like the series, so they're gonna give it a 1 star to try to tank the movie. But those types of people always fail, and it's just funny. I get or the people trying to tank the Angry Birds movie 2 before that came out too. Though, the people who hated the Angry Birds 2 movie too. There were people that hate the Angry Birds in general. It's giving it a 1 out of 10. And that was the same thing of Rotten Tomatoes. People were somehow able to review the movie before it came out. And a lot of people were saying how bad, a lot of people were giving it bad reviews and stuff. Despite the critics saying it was actually way better than the first one. Giving it a 78% at the beginning. But the Angry Birds haters saying it was so bad and so horrible. Because, the critics, the 43% is not set in stone. There's only 6 reviews, of course. That is subject to change. There's definitely far more positive reviews. Basically, there on Rotten Tomatoes, it's a 53% bad critic, so yeah, that's good. I think the 33% is subject to change. It's probably going to be around a 50 to 60% for Rotten Tomatoes. And yep, that's basically it about this video. Goodbye.